무엇을 만들고 계시나요?
I am going to make Kimchi-jjim.
Oh, nice.
Okay, my first time making Kimchi-jjim. Let's try this. I'm following a recipe from Manji. Found her on YouTube a long time ago, and she's been my go-to person for learning my Korean cooking. But this is going to be kind of not so much a fusion kimchi-jjim, but I'm going to have pork and beef in it. And everything else is traditional. I'm going to add some dubu in it since I like dubu. And everything else, I have posat, I have doeji, gochujang, soy sauce, yangpa, some daepa. I have some beef broth, and I have a little bit of dashida on hand just in case. I have sesame oil, some rice syrup, and black pepper. I think that's all the ingredients. So right now I'm just chopping them all up, making everything kind of the same size, bite size. So everything cooks evenly and gets nice and tender. And after that, everything's going in the pot. Okay, so the meat and the kimchi go together at the bottom of the pot. Now if you guys watching this, don't panic if it's not exactly the way it's supposed to be. This is my first time trying it. But if you have any ideas or any suggestions along the way, feel free to leave a comment below, because I'm always open to learning more about my Korean cooking abilities. I take them very seriously. Oh, hello. I have my dog over here. He's my companion. Every time I'm in the kitchen, he sits and waits. He's very patient, hoping to get a little scrap of something. His name is Phoenix, and he's actually a Korean Jindo dog. Good boy. Maybe later we'll show you Phoenix on the video too. He's smelling this beef that I'm cutting and just hoping one little piece might happen to fall on the floor for him. Oop. Just like that. Gotta take care of our pets. Okay, that's the beef done. Let's cut up some of this pork. Okay. I'm using some pork that I had cooked already for another meal, and we had some of it left over, so I'm just trying to add it all in together. Don't want to waste anything. My little furry companion down here is hoping for another morsel. Can't give you this one, puppy. This one has some salt on it, a little bit. We're almost done with the meat part. Okay, that's the meat. Now we're going to move on to adding in the kimchi. Here, where we are, we have a Korean market. It's about 45 minutes from our house. But the kimchi that we like the best, actually, we get from Costco. So that's the one I'll be using for this recipe, is the Costco kimchi. Trying to get this brine out without some of the cabbage. All right. So that's that. This. Yeah, so like I said, Korean cooking is very labor intensive. A lot of chopping, a lot of cutting, a lot of prepping. I guess that's for any kind of cooking, really. Place the chopped kimchi and the meats in the pot. I think one of the greatest things I've learned from Korean cooking is how to use kitchen scissors instead of knives a lot of times. And it has made everything so much easier. So much easier. Especially cutting up things like kimchi or meats and things like that. Just, I don't know why here in the US it's not a thing, but definitely love using the scissors. My personal favorite kimchi, well, I have two personal favorite kimchis, but one of them would be oi kimchi or cucumber kimchi, and gakdugi or radish mu kimchi, or chonga kimchi, that's fine too. Those are my favorite ones. Using the scissors it's time saving, that's for sure. We went to a Korean restaurant here near Nashville in Tennessee, and it was a family-run small place, and they had Kimchi-jjim, which I had never had before, and it was fantastic. So I really hope this one comes out and tastes very similar. I'm sure we'll let you know. If you guys have a favorite type of kimchi, what is it? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm always interested to find out what other people are liking these days. Make sure everything's kind of the same size. There we go. I think that's just gonna about do it. I don't think we need it much smaller than all this. A couple little stragglers on the edge here. I am not a chef. I'm just letting you know that ahead of time. But I do like cooking. I do enjoy cooking a lot. I love making doenjang-jjigae, kimchi-jjigae. My husband, my yobo's birthday. I like to make miyeokguk. Gotta keep traditions alive. All right, in goes the kimchi. Kimchi is in. Okay, kimchi, meat. I've got to put sliced onion and green onion on top. All right. I have a young pa, a regular pa. These I grew in our garden, so I'm just going to throw them in on top. And they grow so well and so big that I end up freezing them. So that we always have some on hand if I don't have fresh, which I didn't have today. Now I'll just cut up this young pa or onion, American onion or Western. I just spilled some of my kimchi juice. I always tell my son that cooking isn't an exact science, unlike baking, where you have to definitely have exact measurements. Don't come for me about my slicing. Okay, now I have to mix the sauce in a bowl. So let's get a little bowl. So we're going to use this kimchi brine. Oh, there's a chunk of kimchi in there. We'll put you in the pot. Okay, kimchi brine. Soy sauce. Gotta look up here for my measurements. I need a tablespoon. So this is the soy sauce that I'm using today. I like this one because it has the Korean pear in it, and onion and other seasonings, garlic. It's very delicious. Okay. We need a tablespoon of my syrup. This is where that little bit of sweetness comes in. The stew is so good. Okay. And I need a tablespoon, or maybe if I'm sneaky, just a little bit more than a tablespoon of the gochujang, which I love. Nice and spicy. But I'll measure today. It's very sticky. Hard to measure without putting it in there, but I didn't want to. With the syrup still on the spoon. There we go. I'll adjust later, once it's cooked for a while, to see if it needs more. Because I can always add. You can't take away, but you can always add. And I know I need to grab my garlic. It's one thing I didn't grab out. So we're going to have a little black pepper. And then I need 2 cups of beef stock, or you can use anchovy stock. You can use vegetable stock if you're making it vegetarian. And I'm just going to go ahead and use 2 cups of this beef, which will make it a little rich. And it doesn't have much sodium, so that's when I'll adjust later, and I might add a little bit of the dashida. The equivalent of that in American cooking would be like bouillon powder or cubes. And garlic. Garlic out, especially if it's during the year when there's a lot of activities, school, taekwondo, band practice, all the things. We're going to mix that around a little, try to dissolve up some of that gochujang. Okay, so that's everything. I mixed the sauce. I'm going to combine this with all the meat and veg that we did here. I'm going to go ahead and throw in, like I said, some posat or mushrooms. We use these really beautiful whole baby bellas. Just going to wipe them off with a kitchen towel. Make sure they're clean. I don't like to really wash them under water too much because they'll get waterlogged and then they won't absorb the flavor of the soup. But K-Hubby likes the posat, so we're going to put some of those in. And like I said, the dubu, I'll put that in at the end, towards the end, maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes of cooking, and let that absorb some of the flavor from the sauce too. My boys will mostly eat the meat and I'll eat the dubu. And then we'll do some multigrain rice to serve along with it. So this is all going to go ahead and go on the stove here in just a minute. Let me throw in these posat, throw in the sauce, and I'll show you guys putting it on the stove. And then the next thing you know, we'll be eating it. This very big posat. So if you're from different areas in Korea, if you're watching from a different area, do you do your kimchi stew differently? Do you add the things I'm adding? Do you not? Do you add different things? I'm really curious. We were lucky enough to be in Korea 2 summers ago and just cannot wait to come back there. Okay, that's the posat. And like I said, the dubu will go in later. Let's pour some of this liquid off and make sure everything's well combined. I definitely think it's going to need more gochujang, but I'm going to let it cook down a little bit first. There it is. All right. That is that. Now, I just got to check with Manji one more time and see how long I cook it. I'm going to cover and put it on medium-high till it boils, and then I'm going to turn it way down to low and let it cook for an hour. Yobo, you want to move the camera? Because I'm going to move it to the stove. I made such a mess. It's the messiest cooking show ever. Okay, well here it is on the stove. So I'm going to put it up on high until it boils. And then I'm going to turn it down to number 2 or low for an hour. And we'll be back to show you the finished product. Like that.
물은 냉장고물. 아마존에서 구입한 저렴한 쿠쿠.
Hello, this is Cuckoo. Voice rice.
자, 일반 밥으로
Starting the rice.
요리 취사를 합니다.
Oh, looking like Kimchi-jjim.
자, 먹읍시다. 잘 먹겠습니다.
먹겠습니다.
잘 먹겠습니다. 반찬이 필요 없죠. We don't need 반찬.
Okay, what do you think?
Let me see.
K-Hubby? 남편?
오, good. 맛있어. 뜨거워. 맛있다.
Try a little of the broth, Eggy.
네.
A little bit more. Finish your chicken first. A little spicy, a little bit.
Not bad.
No, mellowed out.
Perfect.
You like it?
네.
You want some?
No, thank you.
맛있어.
Yeah, came out good. Like I said in the video earlier, Korean cooking is not hard. It's just labor intensive. Thanks for watching.
감사합니다.
좋아요.
구독.